Howdy YouTube. This video is for the Empava 24 electric built-in wall oven. When I was looking on YouTube to find videos of this oven, I just see like competing sellers just adding electronic voice and just bullshit, and I couldn't deal with it. I did buy one. I almost didn't because of a couple things that people said about this stove. So let's just take a quick look at this stove. This is a 24-inch oven. It's a little shorter than my old oven, which worked out perfect because I just put a piece of tile over the top here. So it's just flush, and it gives the stove some air circulation up front, so it allows the cooling system to cool the electronics. There is a fan in here. You can feel it coming out the front. Now, the first thing that almost prevented me from buying this stove was somebody said that this stove gets very hot. No, it doesn't. This just did a rotisserie roast, which came out perfect. I did a rotisserie chicken. I have some photos of that. I will try to upload into there. But this stove works wonderful. The interior of the stove comes with a single rack and a drip tray. I lined my drip tray with some tinfoil, and it just basically is clean as a whistle. You could turn on the interior, see the interior of the stove. You could see the rotisserie function up in the corner next to the light. That's that little silver dot, and you could also see the fan for convection in there as well. Couple things that I noted on the stove. They didn't put the seal in here very good, but they did glue it on the ends. So that is fine. It is double glass. You can see the internal and the external glass. They say 3-pane. I'm not seeing that. I'm only seeing 2 panes of glass on these stoves. And if you look on the side, exactly what I thought. One piece here, one piece here. They say there's a tool for this to pop the glass out to clean it. Mine did not come with the tool. So I was missing the tool and some other things. Another problem with mine, which I will show you, the lead segment. It's 8 o'clock right now, as you can see. 7:54 on my microwave. This guy says 8 o'clock. When this turns 8:01, these will go 8. Somebody either hit the solder joints wrong on this LED segment and screwed it up, but it's not a huge to-do, but I do want it fixed because I did buy a 3-year warranty on this stove as well. So let's get to the functions. On this side of the stove, you have bake, preheat, convection broil, rotisserie, convection roast, true convection roast. I don't know what this means. Keep warm, broil, and defrost. So far I've used 2, bake and convection bake, and also rotisserie. The settings on the stove are pretty easy. People were complaining about this. One woman said it's too hot for a child to touch. Almost kept me from buying the stove. It is not. I ran this stove at 480 degrees, which is the maximum, and I was able to put my hand right on that glass after an hour. This does not get hot. She might have been feeling here where the electronics vent their high temperature air, but you could hold your hand in front of it. You just feel it warm. So let's look at some of the functions. That is obviously your power. This is your OK button, which once you set your settings, which I'll show you soon enough, you will press OK and it'll lock those in. Temperature for adjusting temperature up and down once you're in cooking mode. Obviously a light, you press it once, you press it again. Another person complained that this oven did not do Fahrenheit. That's baloney. You just touch and hold this button for over 4 seconds, and the stove will move from Fahrenheit to Celsius and back. So if we go to standby, which is here, right, and you set, let's say, bake, it starts off on 350 Fahrenheit, as you see, but if I hold this for 4 seconds, 2, 3, 4, it'll move to Celsius, and vice versa. Hold for 4 seconds, and it's back to temperature. Your delay cooking times, you could set here up to 8 hours. This lock feature, people don't know how to use this. When you're in standby mode before you hit OK, once you're cooking, you could hold this button for 4 seconds and lock the controls so nobody could touch it. Obviously, this is going to work for you for the light and your temperatures up and down. Please be advised that it does do 10-degree segments, so if you want 351, you're not getting it. Also, when you hold the temperature button, your maximum here, it's going to set a preset. So bake is going to be 350, I believe. Let's just put it in standby, turn it back on. Bake is going to be 350. Preheat 410, convection bake 280, which you could adjust, convection broil 410, rotisserie 450. Hold the button, and if you want to go up, you can go up. 480 is your max. 500 degrees on most stoves is going to be the cleaning cycle. This stove does not have a cleaning cycle. You have to manually clean it. Pretty easy. You can put a little water in it, heat it up a couple hundred degrees, let it steam, wipe it down. Very easy. Your defrost functions and everything else come in handy. I was under the impression that the stove had side heating. I'm not sure it does. I really can't tell. It's supposedly supposed to have elements top and bottom, but I cannot see an element underneath and only one up top. They did say that the stove had side heating. I have not seen that. Included in the package was a cord. Just FYI, the power comes in the very top of this stove. I can't show you, obviously, because it's installed, but the cable comes out the top and comes off on a 90. You need about 3/4 to 1 inch of clearance for that cable. So if you don't have that, you're going to need that. Make sure you follow the cutout dimensions. I didn't have to. I was replacing a Magic Chef, I believe I had, or it might have been a Frigidaire or some other brand, Whirlpool. But this one was a little bit shorter by this much, but also the interior was larger, which was very odd, to say the least. Why the interior would be larger than a bigger stove. Mostly probably because of the control panel. So a couple little issues that I saw again. My display does not light up properly for time. Right now you can see that screwed up. It was 8:01 now. I believe it's 8:05. So those segments are bad. I asked them to send me a new display panel. I could easily change this panel myself. However, I was not familiar with the brand, so I did have a licensed electrician install it simply because I wanted the receipt from my insurance company if there was a catastrophic failure on this stove. I have cooked with it 2 or 3 times. Fantastic cooking. Even, I can't say to you, excellent. How long does it take to heat up? People complain about that. The very first time I took the stove from 63 degrees up to 465, it took about 15 minutes to do that. Subsequently tonight, when I went to do my roast, it didn't take that long at all. It was about 10 minutes or so, but it does come up to temperature fast. It's not 2 burners up and down, so some stoves will cycle between them to preheat. This does not do that. I was in convection rotisserie mode, which automatically inputs it's automatically going to input the fan control. Now you see it shows almost like it's heating on both sides. I don't know if that's true. Also, if you look at preheat, it just shows it's going to convection roast, shows top and bottom heat. I don't see any elements under there. I don't know how it does that. Keep warm, just the lower. But I believe what it says. If there's an element down there, there's an element down there. It functions as it should. Your other features, so much, when you hit the power button, you're in standby mode. If you want to completely shut it down, you hold the power button for 4 seconds, and the stove completely shuts down. Unfortunately, in shutdown mode, you do not get a clock, but it is completely off. Look phenomenal. It's a great looking stove. Not really dark black. More of a mirrored shine, but as you can see, it is beautiful. It really is a nice looking stove. That's with the light on, that's with the light off. It only comes with one tray. That's unfortunate. My other 24-inch stove, this tray was wider, so it did not fit as a second. But I don't really see a need for it because of the way I cook. I'm not a big family here. There's only about 3 people. I did a roast beef tonight. That roast beef came out phenomenal. I did a chicken last night. Cooked to perfection. I mean, that is ready to go. It is absolutely delicious. So the stove works really, really well. I'm impressed with it. I am not impressed with the fact that when I called Empava tech support, I got a message that says due to COVID, they're closed. Well, I mean, you got to man the phones, guys. They are manning email. I got an automated response that basically said, we'll get back to you. gave me a number. We'll see how that works out. So that was the idea here. This stove cost me $479, $41 for the extended warranty plus tax. It came out to about $507 or $515. Not a deal breaker. It's well worth $1,000. Well worth $1,000 actually. In fact, if I were in a store and saw it, I would really have a hard time comparing this with an American brand. It is not UL certified. It is UL listed, but it is Canadian and European certified. Good enough for me. They have more stringent rules than some of our things, so I'm kind of impressed with it. Some people complained about the lack of information that is contained in the manual. The manual is not great. It is common sense. The left side of these buttons are common sense. The right side of the buttons are hieroglyph, but it's common sense. Heat up, heat down, delay, cook, press it. Everything is done when you go into standby mode. One woman commented that she did not like the fact that the light doesn't come on. Of course it does. We put it in preheat. I turn it on. It's in preheat. On. Bake. Okay. It's working. Lights on. I could turn the light off. If I want to raise and lower, I hold the temperature, hit it once, up, down. It does not shut off, and okay. And it's right back to cooking again with the settings that I've given it. Turn it off instantly and hold for power off. You can see the 8 o'clock came back. It's actually 8:11, but that's messed up. On a lighter note, I teamed it up with the Ramblewood EC 470. This is an awesome cooktop. Beautiful. It looks phenomenal. Keep it clean with ceramic bright and the orange pad, and this guy will clean right up. I got a little bit here, as you can see, a little bit of water, and this basically wipes right off. And that's just with a little water, and then if I want, I could use a little ceramic bright, clean it up even more. The touch settings, I leave it in standby mode and hit the lock button. I'm not really happy about the programming of this cooktop. You do have to have it in lock mode if you want the buttons locked. Any other way, this thing here will come on at the touch of a button. Once it's hit power, anything you hit, this thing is going to come right up. Let's see here. Yeah, it's right on right now. To turn it off, I just turn it off, but you could actually hold the button until it goes down to 0, which you're seeing now. It says it's hot. It's not really hot. This will show hot even if it's maybe 90 degrees. So I like that feature. It kind of tells you what the last ones were used. To lock it, turn it on, press and hold the lock button until the button lights up, and you're done. There it is in lock mode. This is the boost button. Only works on these 2 burners. This burner here, which is an oval shape for a larger pan. This burner here has the 6 and the 10. Yeah, that's 6 inches, and this is 10 inches. So you hold that boost button, it'll give you the inner, and then for larger pans, the outer. So it's like having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 burners at once, but it's really a 4-burner stove. Really, really nice. I didn't seat mine very heavily. I didn't glue it down or do anything with the clips that they give you. I wanted it to float here. I want to be able to lift it up if I have to. But more importantly, I wanted it to give if the glass gets bumped. I mean, if you crush down on the rubber gasket underneath tight and then you drop something on it, it'll break. You might get better luck if it gives a little bit. So I left that out. Well, I hope you like this, and good luck in your purchases. Thanks.